about how important personal development is. So how important it is to work on yourself and actually to spend time each day working on yourself. And I know you're a very big advocate of this and very passionate about it. So I'd love you to share a little bit about that with everyone watching us today.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk with the entrepreneurial woman out there, because as a woman myself, been in the trenches of business for more than 30 years, I understand that most of the time we put everybody else before our own needs. And the truth is, and I hope you've got your journal, that our self-worth is in direct proportion to our net worth and our life worth, which I'll explain a bit more in a moment. And so it begins with us. Yeah. And if we can't show ourselves self-love, give ourselves the time of day each and every day to elevate our self-worth, then we can't possibly hope to elevate our net worth as entrepreneurs. So for instance, each morning I have a bit of a ritual, and I'll share it with them.
And I can vouch for that.
Yeah. Because I learned so many years ago, I had very low self-esteem. My confidence was at an all-time low. However, I realized that the more I worked on myself and gave myself the gift of time each morning, and I understand that for mums and busy women, this is not the easiest thing. It's easier said than done. Every morning I get out of bed and I put on what I call my magic pants. Now, let me explain what
she's not making that up. That is legitimately what she calls them.
I have magic pants, because here's the truth. Wouldn't you agree that when you change into different types of outfits that your physiology changes? And so every morning, no matter how I'm feeling, I take 15 to 20 minutes out of my day, and sometimes up to an hour. I put on my magic pants, which is my workout gear. And instantly I've gone from sleep mode to workout mode. My physiology changes. I feel different about myself. I take time out to journal, do my gratitudes, think about, think about all the things that I'm grateful for in life, all the things that I have, and I start to plan my day. And what that does, it sets me up for owning my day instead of everything else getting in the way. Yeah. And this is so important for entrepreneurial women.
Amanda actually shared this tip with me and throughout the magazine, but luckily for me, in this journey with Amanda, publishing this magazine, I get to hear a lot of this wisdom. And this is one of the reasons I wanted to, ask Amanda and talk about this with Amanda, because Amanda actually shared this with me, and I've implemented this into my life, where I get up every morning and have a ritual. And I shared with Amanda last week a story where I hadn't followed this routine. So I don't necessarily have magic pants, but I do have a magic ritual.
Get some magic pants.
Yeah, I need to invest in those. But I didn't follow. And I got up, as many of us do these days, and I turned to my phone. Now, there was a pretty good reason, because we just launched issue 2 and I was super excited. But I checked my phone first, and I started, sort of running on the treadmill of work and getting my head into that. And I messaged Amanda and I said, you know what? I didn't follow your advice today. And what happened to me was I spilt my warm lemon juice, I burnt the kids' toast, and I had my shirt on backwards. And I think, Amanda, that's what you're really alluding to, is that if you set your day up right, it means that the rest of your day, you call it life by design.
Life by design, day by design. And I just want to add in one more thing here, and I take notes, please, because it really can change your life by just 1 degree. We're talking about if you turn your life compass by just 1 degree, such a difference. I have this, I don't like rules, but I have this thing that I absolutely refuse to turn on my phone or my laptop before I've taken care of self. Remember, self-worth equals our net worth equals our life worth, especially as an entrepreneur. And so what can happen is we get an email or a message on the internet or a text message or a comment in our Facebook or Instagram that upsets us. And what does that do, girls? It sets our day up where somebody else is in control, living in your head rent-free. And to be success in entrepreneurship, we need to be in control of our life and our decisions.
Absolutely. And I this isn't just something that Amanda advocates, as well as that, there are contributors in our magazine that have discussed this exact thing. Emily Vavra talks about it. In particular, one remarkable interview that Amanda, or conversation I should say, it was more of a conversation of 2 peers, was with Kim Kiyosaki. And Kim Kiyosaki really spoke about the importance of a morning ritual to set up her day and her life. Now, we've got a clip from Kim Kiyosaki where Amanda was interviewing her, so we're just going to cross to that clip and then we'll come back and chat a little bit more about it, because I think this is a really important point.
But that's very true. I mean, I would not be where I am today if not for personal development. Both Robert and I are huge advocates. We work a lot on ourselves. I mean, every morning I have a morning ritual. Every morning, most mornings, I wake up, get my coffee. That's always first, coffee. But then I read from one of my spiritual books, one of my personal development books. You know, I have a stack of like 5 that I circulate through all the time, always looking for new books. Then I'll read something and you watch your mind. You gotta really be aware. And this really applies to money as well. When you're dealing with money and you have if you can catch those like little negative thoughts you might have, or little angst when maybe your spouse says, well, what did you spend that money on, and where did that go, and that angst, and you kind of pay attention to that. But I'll do some reading, and then I'll journal on whatever my thought is at the time. I'll just write whatever it is, and then sometimes I will do a little meditation, but that time for me is crucial.
So, of course, you can see there that even Kim Kiyosaki, someone as successful as her, still, takes the time and the energy to have this daily ritual that she sticks to like glue. So, Amanda, for me and for a lot of potential entrepreneurial women out there who are pulled in every direction, as you said in the intro, they might be thinking, well, that's all well and good, but how do I find time? So, Amanda, I'd love to do what you're saying, but I don't have time to even put on, I don't have time to put magic pants on. What would you say to them thinking that right now?
Well, I'm going to get right to the point, because I understand as an entrepreneurial woman, we all say things like this, and I've done it myself. I've made up excuse after excuse after excuse. The thing is this: wouldn't you agree we all find time for what's most important in our life? If you're an entrepreneurial woman and you want success, whatever that looks like for you, we will always find the time to do the things that are important and things that matter. Do we need to get up 15 minutes extra of a morning, go to bed 15 minutes early each night, set the alarm for a different time? Say no to more people, to more...
Hope you're writing this down, because I'm nodding, because this is all...
To more social things.
Yeah.
And I have learned to say no, thank you. Or thank you, but no thank you. Yeah. You have something that's far more important than letting everybody else pull you in different directions. And once you start to get on that trajectory and learn to say no, learn to control your habits, life can change in a heartbeat. It doesn't have to be hard. In fact, it's quite easy once you make the decision and you commit to what's more important: your family, your future, your health, your success, and you can really find the time. Yeah. I don't believe any woman out there cannot find 15 minutes each day.
I think you've poked a little bit of a bear with me, and I'm sure it's probably with you.
I hope so.
In a good way, and I say that in a positive sense, is that you're right. And I think you share I think it's one of the modules, I know it's one of the modules, that in your program, that you will put your time into where your values lie. So if you have a look at your diary and where you're spending your time, that's and what you just said there is basically what you're saying to us, is that if look at where we're spending our time in our day and how we're spending our time in our day, and if we can't carve out, so you think 15 minutes to start with?
Whatever you believe that you're worth. The thing is, your net worth equals your self-worth. So how far do you want to go in life? What do you see in the future for you and your family? Yeah. What do you want your life to be like in every way? And you start to carve out that time, and interestingly enough, the moment you start to get results, first internal, then external, you find a little more time.
Oh, it's the truth. So true. It is so true. And when Amanda shared this with me, it was about, taking a little bit of hurt at first to put the alarm to, 5:30 a.m. to be up, to carve out that time in my day. It does mean going a little earlier, and it's remarkable, the change. It is absolutely remarkable.
1 degree, that's all we've got to turn it.
Yeah, 1 degree. And so I think we should leave the ladies with a little bit of homework for this one, because I think the ladies watching are going, okay, great. So Amanda, what's a bit of a something they can do? Like, how can they weave this into their life? Have you got any ideas?
Yep. Make a decision right now and tomorrow. Write down today, or think about today, what's one thing that you can do tomorrow that is different from every day before?
Yeah.
What is your magic pants? What's your magic outfit? Or take 10 to 15 minutes to do some journaling and start to think about and plan about what you would love your future to look like. And that's all it takes. It just starts with one tiny action in a different direction, and over time you will arrive at a different place.
Yeah. So rather than overwhelming yourself and trying to fundamentally flip, and Amanda talks all the time about the 1 degree, and I think, again, as entrepreneurial women, we can do this, I don't know how to call it, but the deep end, where we jump off the deep end and we think we've got to fundamentally, catastrophically transform our life, but it's just a little one degree. The 1 degree. So I hope you've written that down as a little bit of homework for yourself, is to carve out just 15 minutes even just to do something special for yourself and invest in yourself.